Ugh, this damn alarm clock. I used to think I had a dream job, but between commuting an hour each way back and forth from the office, fake socializing with coworkers I don't even like, and unnecessary meetings, do I really have a dream job? The way people glorify working scares me. I literally just want to stay home, travel, go to the gym every day without rushing, doing all of this without feeling bad. I used to think I had a dream job. So a little story about me, I went to college for theater, but I did marketing as well. I knew deep down I wasn't really trying to audition for Broadway or in San Francisco or even fly down to LA and get casted in movies. So I felt, man, if I could only get into marketing, that's what I went to college for, it would be a dream job. However, getting into a marketing position without any prior experience and just a college degree had little to no effect on me landing a job after college. So I decided just to find any job like many students that graduate just like me. What's going on? It's your boy, Louis Halfa Show. You know how we do. So after a few years of, let's call it, data entry jobs, I decided, you know what? I still got this marketing degree and it's still something I'm passionate about. Let me at least try to get some experience so I can finally pursue this dream job in marketing that I always thought about. So that's when I learned how to build my own brand, create my own website. I learned SEO, social media marketing, etc. Fast forward to a few years ago, and guess what? The startup I applied for saw my brand I built up on my own, was super impressed, and they decided they wanted to hire me. At that point, I was like, wow, I finally did it. I took my life into my own hands, and with hard work and dedication, I finally landed the job of my dreams. And I was super excited because it was such a long process. I went through hundreds of job applications, dozens of interviews. And out of all that work, I finally landed a high-paying job in the field that I loved. I truly thought this was it. And once I got that position and point in my life, I thought I would be happy, but I wasn't. I woke up not really excited to start my mornings. My morning alarm would go off and I would just be like, ugh, knowing that I just had a bunch of tedious tasks ahead of me that I really didn't want to do. But because the money was fairly good and I could finally afford things that I couldn't in the past, I was able to justify staying at that job. But even then so, in this economy and where I was at, I would always get from friends, you know, Louis, you should be lucky. A lot of people would kill to be in the position that you're at. And it sounds like I'm complaining, but don't get me wrong, I was super grateful to be in that position. But at the end of the day, it was still just a job. And to be honest, it wasn't really one I valued or was really interested in. And I feel though that's where I live, the Bay Area, you know, Silicon Valley. This is where all the tech is at. This is where all the money's made. If I had a friend that worked at Meta or Google, that person officially made it. Congratulations, you did it. And don't take this the wrong way, like at all. There are tons of people out there that love their jobs. And some of these jobs have amazing perks. They really work hard to climb the corporate ladder. And this is their dream job, and I think that's great. But the more and more people I talk to, they don't feel the same way. And how do I know? Well, there's a bunch of YouTube channels that I follow that say so. I recently watched a video called Why I Left My $120,000 Job at Airbnb. And they explained that the only reason they were at that job was because of validation. Posting their badge or office building on Instagram with the caption, "My first day of work." And they would get bombarded with comments about it. Like, wow, you're so lucky. Or, how can I be like you? Or, can you hook me up with a job? We're not 16 anymore. This ain't the mall. I can't just hook you up with a job. And I feel like we've been brainwashed to think this is the only route. Go to university, get a degree. Sure, you'll be in debt, but at least you'll be working for a high-tech company making six figures. I mean, that means you made it, right? I've seen a lot of people at my old corporate job in San Francisco. Some would stay super late at the office every quarter. But some had families and had to pick up their kids after work. So what would they do? They would grab their laptops and log back on at night. And I feel like these people put themselves under so much pressure to be successful and not get fired. So, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And I feel like because they work these long hours, they probably don't have time to do what they love, whether it's taking care of yourself and going to the gym, or picking up a new hobby after work like painting. After work, they're so stressed, they either want to go grab a drink during happy hour, or go home and binge Netflix so they can just escape reality, just for a little bit. And I feel like this day and age where mental health is such a big issue, there's more and more people out there becoming depressed. Even for me, towards my end of my time at that company, I felt the same way. Every morning my alarm would go off. I would get up dreading going into work. Just sitting on that subway on the way to work, thinking about the time I would finally be off just so I can go home. So if you feel the same way, just know it's not normal, and no, you're not alone. I think when we were kids, seeing a lot of adults, especially our parents, they come home tired, sometimes stressed, and we think this is normal. When I get older, I will just have to go through the same process as well. We work really, really hard during the week, so when the weekend is up, we get to finally reward ourselves and just rest and relax. But then I saw these reports on other countries' lifestyles. where they have a really great work-life balance. And you might think, hey, how come they get to work like that, but we don't? I think more and more people are starting to think this way, especially during the pandemic when a lot of people started losing their jobs and everybody starts to rethink what really matters to them. A lot of us think working corporate America is the only option we have. And if you're unhappy or depressed, well, I guess that's your problem. If we want to be successful, there's a step-by-step process we need to go through. If you didn't go to college, in a lot of people's eyes, you're automatically labeled a bum or a failure. The only job you're going to get is working at McDonald's. Would you like fries with that? So that's why we do things out of fear and what's considered safe, instead of doing the things we actually love. And I know I can't be the only one that feels this way. Making sure I show up on time and show face, or I could potentially get let go. And if I don't play the game, and Brown knows I could potentially not get the promotion over another person, no matter how much harder of a worker than I am. Between me and you, I wasn't that much of a hard worker. But this is why I don't have a dream job. This is why I ask myself, if I don't want to work for a corporate company, what would I rather be doing? The average company gives you 14 to 21 days paid time off. And some other companies are starting to do unlimited. But is it really unlimited? You still have to ask, get approved, and you can't really abuse it. I want to be at some point where my buddies text me literally tonight and say, hey, we're going to Mexico. Are you in or are you out? I want to be able to say yes or no right on the spot. I want to make content like the one you're watching now and help and inspire others, showing them there is other options outside the 9 to 5. Or fitness content, because to me it's fun and that's what I'm passionate about. Follow Bring the Shreds for all your fitness needs. But I want to do them because I want to, because I love to. Not because I'm forced to or doing it out of fear. No, you don't need a stable job to be labeled successful anymore. Because you can basically monetize anything these days. You want proof? Your current favorite YouTuber is living your dream life. So I want you to think about your purpose. I feel like everybody was put on this earth for a reason. We always think we have to stay at these companies for 20 plus years like our parents. But times are changing. We are evolving, and I'm sure what you wanted to do in your 20s was definitely not what you wanted to do in your 30s or even 40s. So just think about your purpose. What do you think you should be doing instead of being stuck in a cubicle or worried that you might get let go during the next wave of layoffs at your job? I always knew deep down I wanted to be a content creator. Even when I was in college, the biggest mistakes I did was listen to others around me. This was before YouTube was popular, but they would say things like, no, YouTube's not going to do anything for you. You need to get a real job. You need a nice 9 to 5 with benefits. So what did I do? Well, I listened. I put away all my dreams because they told me I had to be realistic. I listened to all the people that couldn't do it or didn't think they could do it, so they put their fears onto me. And I'm not sure if you noticed these past few weeks, I started putting out content consistently. I stopped caring about how many views I got, what people thought about me, and I started making content for Lewis 10 years ago, even 20 years ago. These videos you're watching is me talking to me. This is what I wanted to do for years, but I never pulled the trigger. And when I finally did it and didn't see the numbers I wanted, I started to feel discouraged. But now, every day I would check my views and my subscriber list. It's nothing crazy at the moment, but slowly it just keeps going up little by little. And I'm like, hey, maybe I'm onto something. So whatever your purpose is or whatever you want to do in life, just go for it. You can literally make money doing anything these days. So why not explore other ways to do so that can actually make you excited to wake up in the morning, and not because society told us we have to be at this job that we truly hate. And trust the process. I know it might be easy for me to say all this and it might go in one ear and out the other, but I truly feel in the end it will all work out. Time flies so quickly. Why waste time doing something you hate? Do something about it. Find something you love and do it as soon as possible. Tomorrow is never given. So what are you waiting for? Let's get this bread. See you on the other side.